Finally something rather small. So last week we had the new Be Quiet light base on the table, first as a build and as the review, and they also sent over the brand new Pure Base 501, the Airflow Black model. And for a change, it's a small Be Quiet case. That's something new. Now this is not the first Be Quiet Pure Base that they released, but it's the new one. So Be Quiet's Pure Base, be it the fans, the AIOs, the whatever, it's basically the budget line, which we will probably see in a second. There we go. Which does not mean that they are bad. Don't get me wrong there, it's just their budget lines. Okay, so this is the new Pure Base 501 Airflow, and I gotta say it doesn't look bad. I see we got some tempered glass here with catching screws in the back if they come off. Yeah, great. So what do we got here? It's called Airflow, so I expected a lot of airflow in the front, which we got, which is nice. And I just saw there is another fabric dust filter in the front, which is removable from the front. So that's pretty nice right there. The whole front is basically one giant little metal mesh panel. In the top we got another mesh panel, which is removable with that plastic going around, which is nice. Wow, and some big ass holes up here. Why is there so much hole space? I have no clue. Then we got two included fans. I think those are Pure Wings. Yes, Pure Wings 3. We got one 140 in the back, 1200 RPM, and another one in the front, which you just saw a minute ago. In the bottom, we got the separate power supply tunnel, which is closed off here, so you don't see any logos, which just looks awful every goddamn time they do it. And we got a cable hiding bracket right here, and yeah, that's basically the whole case. The only thing I can already see, which won't make me that happy, is the amount of space in the back for cable management. That's not going to be particularly great, but other than that, it's a very pure case. No pun intended, but I mean, that's what they were aiming for here, I guess. So before I get to work on the review for this puppy, I wanted to do a first build, as we usually do. So I gathered some... Yeah, you can't do that, you will lift it on this one. So I gathered a bunch of components for today, but I wanted to stay in the whole budget line because this is a budget case. So we are going with AMD, older AMD, a B550 Pro 4 from ASRock combined with a 5700X. So rather budget, some G.Skill Trident Z DDR4 memory, some random SSD that I found, and Be Quiet also sent over their new Pure Base 12 850 watts power supply. And there is something special about this one, because this unit does include, let me just get rid of this here, because this unit, let me also remove this, there we go, because this unit does include the, where is it, here, the new 600 watts plug for NVIDIA GPUs, which is not as common for budget power supplies, but yeah, this one got it. Which is why I opted to take a newer GPU, because in the beginning I wanted to take a 3080 something? Yeah, I don't remember, but I opted to go for our Phantom 4080, which, I mean, this is heavily on the GPU side for today, but this one requires a new plug and I wanted to use it, so yeah, there we go. So this is going to be a more budget-y PC with a big-ass GPU. That's basically the aim for today, but no fancy stuff, no colored cables, no extra fans, just it should work and it should work well. For the cooling, I decided that we're going to use a bit older Be Quiet Pure Loop 2, because, I mean, Pure Base, Pure Loop, that just makes sense. It just made sense in my head. So yeah, everything is ready. I guess let's prepare the board, and yeah, then we can first work on the case. And here we go. Now, one thing... Yeah, it's what I thought. So it's still Be Quiet, so they added some of that like anti-noise I don't even know what to call it. It's like noise blockery material here in the back, which is fine, which is cool. Be Quiet has been doing that for a long time, and I do appreciate that. However, especially in contrast to the light base that we just had on the table, the space in the back is that's like very, very limited. It's still fine. I can still, cram some cables in here, but it's not going to be as amazing as inside of the light base. That's for sure. Now we got a little accessories box here in the back, which contains probably all the screws we need for the motherboard and some PCIe brackets. Oh, that's probably for the horizontal GPU installation. I saw something about that in the manual, but we'll see about that later. Now, for the power supply, because we got like another dust filter here, which is removable from the front. Yeah, there we go, dust filter right there. But the space for the power supply is heavily limited, and the power supply that we got isn't modular. It's like one brick, which is fine if you're in the budget space, but it's going to be like cramped if you're limited in space, which is why I'm going to try and remove the whole hard drive cage, which is hopefully just these two screws here. Please be oh yeah, it's just these two screws. Oh, thank you, Be Quiet, for making this easy. So there we go. A lot of space to work with. Where should we begin? I believe let's slap in the motherboard, because this build is going to be like very, very quick. There is just not much to put in here. This is like 3/4 of everything. So let's install this and then we'll see from there. Yeah, doesn't give me any inappropriate vibes. Not at all. Do I really need to remove that cable hider thing? Or can I just like bend? Oh, I can bend it out of place. Oh, that's quite cool. I can bend this slightly so that we got the space to install the motherboard. That's quite nice. And it kind of keeps it in place so that it doesn't fall out. That's also a neat little addition if anybody ever needs to install a motherboard from this angle. There we go. All the ADX spacers are in place. That's also something that isn't always the case. Just saying. There we go. Now, where should we proceed? I believe let's slap in the AIO. We are going to use the 240. Is this the 240? Oh no, sorry, the 280. This is the 280mm version. So let's just quickly install the fans and then we will slap it in the top, I believe. So we got the intake fan in the front, the exhaust in the back, and I'm going to use these two as exhaust in the top. So we basically got more exhaust than intake, which isn't particularly smart, but it's going to look nice. So yeah, let's just quickly do that. Yeah, this way. So fans pointing here. All of my radiator screws are gone. So this will not work. Yeah, you can forget about that one. So 280s in the top, even thinner ones, like this is not a particularly thick one. Yeah, that really won't work. And it's not even that my RAM is too high. I'm trying to show you. If I remove it again, it's actually this part here, the PCB of the RAM itself, that's blocking. Not like this shiny RGB part. No, it's the RAM itself. So yeah, that won't work here. Let's install it in the front. Okay, I'm not particularly happy about all of this, but I mean, in the end I will have 2 intake fans instead of just one, so there's that. But I guess let's just remove the front fan, remount it to the top, and then we will just use the front for the AIO. That works perfectly fine. Yeah, sorry. I love these doors. There we go 1, there we go 2, 3. How the So, this screw here is blocked by this part here, and I can't really access it. And let me guess, that whole thing is hard mounted. Oh no, I can remove it. It's fine, I can remove the whole thing with a single screw. It's fine, I overreacted. Okay, there we go. Now we just need to rewire some stuff. Okay, there we now have the fan. And let's slap this one in the back top. Like here. There we go. Great, now we can reinstall all of this here. If I can figure out... Oh no, it's totally the wrong way. This seems correct. Ah, okay, there we are. Now we can install the two 80mm AIO in the front, and now I can reconfigure the fans. No, I don't have to. But okay, I got a little bit of a problem here. So you see, this here is the pump. The problem is if I route it so that we have the tube at the top, which I can do, yeah, the pump is going to be like almost at the top. And I do not particularly like that. However, if I do it the other way around, which I can also do, I think I'm going to run into a GPU problem. I might. But let's just see how it goes. So let's turn the fans around to have them pull through the radiator. So at least it's going to be like really, really quiet. No. Okay, change of plans again. So the case got this spacing here, which is where the fan previously was, and that's also where they thought the fan should go. Like this here. So I'm going to mount the fans as push fans anyway, and install all of this here on the inner part, and just hope that the GPU still fits. But yeah, I guess we'll just have to try and see how it goes. Like this, and then through the bracket in the back. Yeah, let's mount it at the very, very top. Yeah, like this. There we go, finally. Who would have thought that installing an AIO can be that complicated? Whew. At this point we can quickly slap on the water block, not pump in this case. Whew. There we go. Let me just quickly do some very small cable management, and then we will head to the PSU. Ta-da! Oh, and at this point I can also close the front again. Yeah, now in retrospect I could have also used the PureLoop 2 FX so that we got the ARGB rings here in the front. That would have maybe looked nice, but in this case we got like a minimal RGB maximum power build, so that's fine. Now for the PSU, we got a ton of space to work with now. That's nice, makes me happy. And as I said before, we got that brand new Pure Power 12. It's a very baseline power supply, nothing special about it, not even modular cables, but you got plenty of power, plenty of power. And where are my screws? Here. And we got that new 600 watt connector, so yeah, there's that. And I have no clue about the pricing right now, but I guess it's not going to be hella expensive, as we don't have like any features in it, except for just power. There we go. There we go. Now, more cabling stuff, great. Oh, cool. Instead of oh wow, I haven't seen this before. Now instead of having these two rails that like shift into each other, here we got like clips, so you just clip it together. Oh wow, this feels way nicer than what we had before. Whew! Yeah, cabling stuff goes really quick if you don't have a lot of stuff. Now, my favorite part of every build, taking all of this here, or maybe adding like a zip tie for good measure, and then just stuffing it into the front where nobody can see it. Like that. Now, last part of the build. Does the GPU even fit with that AIO in the front? No clue. We'll find out together. I hope so. Oh, this is like one of the very few motherboards where you got the 16X slot in the top. Let's just hope. Please fit. Please fit. I just somehow need to make this go in there. Oh wow. Not only does it fit, but having the tubes going like this around the GPU does look kinda cool. I'm glad how this now turns out. Whew. Last part of the build, that beloved, generally beloved connector. Of course. Wow, it's very flexible. Oh, I can even hide it behind the tubes. Kinda neat. Wow, that went quick. Let's now find out if I'm going to have any problems in the back with the cables. I guess not, because there aren't just many of them, but I would not recommend to use any sort of colored cables here in the back. That's going to be a horrible experience for you. Oh, build finished. Now I only need to slap the glass back on, and we got no or do we have protection on the inner part? Nope, we don't. So this goes here. Okay, time to find out if this thing explodes. So that went fairly easy. Cooling wise, this is perfectly fine. The GPU is sitting at around 53 degrees C when running Firmark 4K 8 MSAA, which is roughly what you would expect. It was, I think, 1 degree more than inside of the light base. However, you know, ambient temperature and all things can change there. Other than that, the CPU is so cold it doesn't even really make sense. I mean, the 280mm Aero is so overpowered for that 5700X. So cooling wise, perfectly fine, and also airflow wise. The case, okay, the fans are blowing at like a minimum round right now, but the front is very airflowy, no problem there. And you can even nicely, I don't know if you can see it, but how the smoke goes through the case. Oh, that looks kind of cool. Anyway, the case is perfectly fine. Of course, it's not a light base, it's not a dark base, it's not a really high-end case, nothing of that sort. It's very pure, very basic. It's for the base build. And in that regards, I kinda like how the whole thing turned out on the inside, the looks, the design. It's very simple, very black with a little bit of RGB. And yeah, I know the aluminum part of the motherboard doesn't really fit into this, but I mean, it's a budget build, so you kind of take what you get. And I'm very happy how it turned out. I like the Pure Base logo here on the Pure Base text on the side. So all in all, I'm very happy with the build and with the case. Cable management in the back, that's could have been better, but I mean, it's a Pure Base. And if all of this is acceptable, will be determined by the price of the case, which as of now, honestly, I don't know. I haven't looked through all of the documentation yet, but that we will keep for the review. For now, I'm done. I will now start working on the review and gather all my thoughts and make it into a understandable, or rewrite it into a understandable sentence. But for today, thank you for watching. And if you want to continue, have a look at the light base build that we did like a week ago. That was a long video compared to how long it took to build this case. So that's very different case, very different case. But okay, thank you for watching and hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye.